All right, folks, this is Cimbolic of the Council of 12 reporting out to you on the solutions that were developed on yesterday's show, October 31st. Our topic was, under our theme, taking back the neighborhoods, building strong communities. Our topic of the show was finding or creating employment for youth, jobs for youth. And we had a great show. We had a number of council members present. We had Cubana 08, a new council member, Liberating Truth, Elder Edwards, Ronan Soul 75, he's a recent member too, TMOT, the founder. We had Tishuku from Buenos Aires in the chat room, and we had also a caller named Kevin calling in, and WiseNubian called in as well. We were fortunate that he called in and explained to us some of the programs that his organization's been developing. So, employment for youth, jobs for youth, employment for youth. And in a broader sense, activity for youth. I tie this into the Darion Albert case. You know, Darion Albert was a young honor student who, about a month and a half ago, was killed by gang members, young gang members. And you know, I think that anything we can do to create employment for youth and activity for youth in general is going to be a disincentive to joining gangs. And it will prepare youth. There's a consensus that we need to prepare our youth for employment and for entrepreneurism. My French is wavering this early in the morning. If the schools fail to do so, our communities need to step up and take responsibility for that. As I say, to prepare them for employment, to prepare them for entrepreneurship, to develop their own businesses, and to actually create jobs. So how do we do that? What are the tactics? We have some solutions. There are existing programs. Oftentimes the mayor's office will have youth job development programs, or a branch of the city will have youth development programs. Cubana 08 mentioned a couple of programs that are excellent. Junior Achievement, which she herself was involved in as a youth, and the East Oakland Youth Development Center, which has a number of resources to assist jobs prepare for employment and I believe to find employment as well. So we have programs there. There are apprenticeship programs that exist through the schools and various organizations. So part of what one of the solutions is for someone to do the research, locate these resources, and create a web page of resources where youth can find jobs and where community members can look and find jobs through existing resources for youth, and block clubs can do so too if a community has an organized block club or neighborhood association. It was mentioned that part of the one of the solutions is to locate these existing resources and to bring them back to the community. Liberating Truth, Elder Edwards had mentioned that there are oftentimes jobs posted for youth, but they're posted downtown. And someone from the community can always get that information, bring it back to the community, and post it in the community, or if there's a block club, post it in the neighborhood block club. And some communities have cultural centers too, which would be a great place to post these things. So there's a little bit of outreach that is recommended. Creating jobs. The idea was put forward that there may be a lot of basically tasks that exist actually in the community. There may be people who have a certain amount of gardening jobs, painting jobs, hauling jobs, maintenance jobs, tutoring jobs. A lot of people wish their children to be tutored in various subjects. So there may exist a lot of work in the neighborhood, and it may be possible to just go around, poll people in the community, make a list of basically work tasks that needs to be done, and group those into employment jobs or tasks for youth in the neighborhood. And that would get the work done, which otherwise might just not get done, and it would provide employment within the neighborhood. It was also talked about, and we'll make this a topic of a future show, that if the communities can reclaim ownership of the businesses in the community, those businesses can create jobs for the local youth. If the business is owned by a community member, they can employ their own youth and the youth of others in the community, and teach them the skills, the work skills, and the entrepreneurial skills that need to be developed. But that of course requires reclaiming ownership of the communities. And as I say, we're going to have a future show on that and brainstorm solutions for basically regaining ownership of the communities. It was also mentioned in a prior show, StatuesqueOne, who unfortunately was unable to join us for this show. I think there were power failures in her area, but she had mentioned in a prior show that her neighborhood association developed a farmer's market, actually, which brings low-cost food and fresh food into the neighborhood. And I sort of extended that idea into, if a block club can put something like that together, like a farmer's market, that generates jobs. You can have youth working at the farmer's market. And so whatever fundraising mechanisms are created, some of those fundings can be channeled into youth employment. Cubana 08 mentioned also that maybe some barriers need to be lowered. For instance, the age at which youth can start working, that can be lowered or should be lowered to give youth the opportunity to actually take jobs and learn those skills. Learn the skills that they need to learn early, and learn skills like money management at a younger age, and be involved in that way. This idea was enhanced. The input was that given how young the youth are, perhaps the employment needs to be supervised. And then I think Tishuku from the chat room mentioned that a website could be developed to this purpose too. And also Tishuku mentioned that new needs could be created in the community to create new employment, which is a very creative idea if people can brainstorm what new needs might be able to be created. WiseNubian called in. Thank you, WiseNubian. WiseNubian's organization is going to be developing grants for youth employment, among other things. And once they create these grants, they can then approach business owners and assist them to employ youth. And WiseNubian's actively working now on employing youth. He's walking the walk. Various kinds of jobs, gardening jobs, jobs with people growing food that they can eat, but basically creating employment and empowering the local businesses to hire youth. The local businesses, WiseNubian observed, are primarily focused on just getting the work done, on selling their product or what have you. And if you have an organization like WiseNubians basically coming and saying, look, we have the grants, we can write the grant, or we have the grant, we can assist you, that provides an incentive for the small business to employ youth. So very creative solution on that. What else do we have? Apprenticeship programs I mentioned. Junior Achievement I mentioned. The East Oakland Youth Development Center I mentioned. An idea was for a tool was to create a website with resources for youth to find employment, and which is a great idea. So on the council's Wednesday meeting, we'll be talking, winnowing through all these ideas to decide what is immediately actionable and what tools can be created. And I want to thank everybody for recommending these tools. They're just great. That is the gist of the ideas. Basically, in sum, finding out what existing programs there are, what programs exist. Some exist through the schools, some exist through city government, some exist through organizations, enabling organizations. I might mention WiseNubian's organization in that regard, and groups, and also looking to bring those resources into the community, creating the tools for youth and parents and block club members to find those, bring them back into the community, also creating jobs in the community itself by finding new needs, generating new jobs from that, creating job pools of tasks, using fundraising mechanisms like farmers markets, etc., to create jobs for youth, reclaiming businesses, employing the youth in reclaimed businesses, lowering the age at which youth can enter the workforce, and starting to prepare youth very young for jobs and for entrepreneurship so that they can create their own businesses and create their own jobs for people and enhance the community and the prosperity of the community. That about sums up the show. Folks, it is archived on blogtalkradio.com/council of 12. Listen to it there. Thanks for your attention, folks. Take care. Bye-bye.